season where you kind of get depressed because you don't have the flexibility to go out, to do other things. And some people just like to do summer things, and Miami gives you access to that.
Connect both of those two worlds, right? The reason why I kind of fell in love with finance is finance touches everything, right? Whether you know, interest rates can affect how much you pay for a product in the grocery store, right? And so everything kind of is interconnected. Work-life balance, right? You're working hard, whether it's a startup, a project, a job, whatever it might be. At any moment in Miami, you can push a button and be on vacation, right? The piece that's forgotten is that, you know, Web3 and crypto aren't going away, and they're going to probably be more integrated in the financial services system or ecosystem, you know, in the future. I think that Miami will vastly benefit from that. I mean, I think that we will be, I would like to say I said it before King Griffin said it, but I'll give him all the credit. I think that we will be a financial services capital. I think that a little bit of the hit that we took with crypto was a little detrimental, but I think that the piece that's forgotten is that, you know, Web3 and crypto aren't going away, and they're going to probably be more integrated in the financial services system or ecosystem, you know, in the future. I think that Miami will vastly benefit from that. I think that our proximity to Latin America, the Caribbean, and all of the Europeans coming here will continue to make this a global city. I think that we do need a few more unicorns to come out of Miami, but I think that that will happen because I think that we'll have the money and the funding to be able to build those. I think that we've got to change a little bit of our narrative, which takes some time, right? You know, most people know Miami first for Miami Vice, right? And then after Miami Vice, maybe it was Bad Boys. And then, you know, after that, it's just kind of fun in the sun, live and partying. And I think that now the next phase in Miami is really this business entrepreneurial place. And then I think that the capital will just add jet fuel to that, right? And so I think that the other thing, the future of America looks like Miami. The future of America is black and brown. The future of America is kind of people from all over the world coming somewhere. And so as the rest of America starts to change, if you built a business in Miami, the people that run your business will be culturally competent enough to then run that similar business in Nebraska or wherever else, right? So in a culture perspective, I feel like Miami is, you know, 5-10 years ahead of the rest of the United States. I think that we do need to continue to add to our education system here. But I think that if we do all those things, I mean, I think that Miami is more like Singapore. And I think that we start to compare ourselves to London, Dubai, New York, Hong Kong, as opposed to Chicago or LA. I think that the global nature of this place leads us to really do well in business in the future. I think that, you know, we've got to continue to raise wages. We've got to continue to add space for the folks that live on the other side of 95, right? And continue to develop and build there. I think we've got to build up. And then we all need to be keenly aware of the climate situation that we are in. And I hope that a company in Miami is the one that finds the solutions to be able to keep this place above water. And that's going to help out the rest of the world. Because although we might be first adversely affected by climate change, all of us are affected by climate change. You know, you see some amazing companies. We got a company here in Miami. They recycle clothing, and they make clothing for Tesla, NASA, Nike, North Face. There's a lot of great companies doing stuff with, you know, getting plastics out the water and making, you know, products out of those. There's some guys out here that are making leather out of discarded fish skins. So I think you're seeing that, you know, again, that American ingenuity and thought process and building the business is here. I think that just now the light is on Miami and now the capital. And once you put those two things, I think the future for Miami is extremely, extremely bright. The only thing that I see that can really be in the way, like I said, is, you know, uh, climate change or something like that.
In the way, and also a positive thing, because honestly, when I think of Miami, and I am coming from paradise. Like, I truly believe that the Caribbean, and at least this is my perspective of what paradise looks like. The Caribbean and some places in South America have an intense amount of places where you truly feel like in
Mm-hmm.
paradise. And for me, Miami is paradise. So when you add those two things that you mentioned, the economical aspect and the funding, the obviously you need human
Mm-hmm.
resources, you need people who are willing to put in the work to grow those unicorns. Building a unicorn, it must, like, it's not an easy task. You
No.
know what I mean? Like, we see a lot of people that they fail in the process. It's just like the ones who continue proactively chasing that are the ones who achieve it. But I believe, like, when you add all those things, we could truly call this city paradise, a paradise. And that, if that doesn't make you live here, I don't know, like, maybe paradise might look different, like some people might like the
Yeah,
mountains.
yeah. Everybody's got their own idea of paradise. I think we just got this unique opportunity to kind of take this place to another level, right? Miami before the pandemic isn't what Miami is today, and Miami today won't be what Miami is, in the future. And the ball is still rolling, right? I think this Tech Month and Emerge and Melissa and all the things that they do will continue to grow. I think that, even we talk about tech so much, but I really mean just all businesses. We have amazing restaurateurs here in Miami. We have amazing developers and development. We're having a roundtable at my office tomorrow that's really on the future of building. I think that because of the sun that we have here, so when we talk about solar, we have just very unique things that we can lead in that I think the rest of America uh, desperately needs, and we need to lead in them, right? So how can our buildings be more energy efficient? How can we use sunlight to do a bunch of different other things? I think that you and I were talking about healthcare. I think Miami has a unique opportunity to lead in longevity science, right? And longevity is very much about living longer, but you can't live longer if you have diabetes. You can't live longer if you have some of these other illnesses. So in that, you're solving those problems as well, right? And I think that Miami, because of the wealth, because of the medical infrastructure, because this used to be retirement capital, and then also too because of the vanity, we have a really interesting opportunity to kind of lead in longevity science. And so if you mix, financial services, longevity, um, those are two pieces that really have the opportunity, and the climate piece to help out not only Miami, but the rest of the world, right? Solving some solution for coral reef, storm surge, or sea level rise helps out everyone in the globe, along with Miami. Solving, the causes of diabetes or other illnesses in longevity science helps out everybody in the world. Creating better financial tools and products and creating more accessibility helps out everybody in the world.
100%. I agree. And now transitioning, I think we gave a real extensive insight of what living in Miami looks like, especially if you're an entrepreneur and a professional, and all the potential that the city has for all these industries. But now coming more into the personal side, what's the legacy that you and Jay would like to live in the community, and stating that community is everything, and all the people that might look at you as a role model, as a father, as a husband, son, the leading person on the economic development and strategy, the events you participate on. How would you like that people to remember you?
So first, you get me in trouble. I'm not a father, nor am I married, right? You know, you'll make some people mad. But I think that the legacy is, I want to have products, funds, or have created opportunities across America and the world that continue to help people out, and hopefully things that outlive me, right? The Rise Fund is a $25 million fund that will lend small businesses in Miami up to 75K. And it's relatively easy to access those funds. I would hope that that fund, outlives me and continues to be able to do loans for people, many, many moons from now. I hope to, the Juliet Henry, which is right around the corner from us, named after Henry Flagler and Julia Tuttle, right? As people who really helped shape the future of this city, right? And there's many, many names, some we know, some we don't know, that have put their imprint on Miami. I hope to be somebody that continues to roll this ball in the right direction, somebody that not only helped out the big fish, but also helped some of the smaller fish become medium-sized fish and become big fish. I hope that I'm somebody that people will always think, you tried to help or tried to connect the dots. And then also too, somebody that was happy and had a good time with life. I think life is to be enjoyed, find things that you want to do. But I want to be a part of projects across the United States. We're blessed and lucky in Miami to live here and to have the economic opportunity that we have right now. There are many other places that don't have that same type of economic opportunity. And if you can't take care of your family or you can't afford to do X, Y, or Z, right? You're limited from opportunity. And I think that, I want every human to be able to have the opportunity to find out in life what fulfills them, or the opportunity to figure out how they can make the impact that helps change somebody else's life, right? And so my way is by being a part of all these different communities and trying to create products and services that help businesses to be successful, but also help people be successful, and use what I know about finance to be able to do so. And that's why I do love, this job and love economic development, because it kind of really is doing a lot of that, And so, I want to put my imprint or deeper imprint on Miami, but then also to take some of the things that we've learned to be successful here and implement those, across the United States and hopefully across the world. Because, access to capital is just unfortunately an issue that many of us have. It is something that I do think, can be solved. And, what is America without the small business people?
Small businesses, like big businesses and unicorns, only become unicorns and big corps because they started as a small business.
Exactly.
Facebook started being profitable after 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. Like, if you ask somebody today, are you willing to give 10 years of your life for a non-profit, like a company that is not generating profit? They will probably say no, but I'm pretty sure Mark Zuckerberg at the moment didn't know that he was gonna spend 10 years to make that business profitable, but he did it. And
Yeah.
once he was there, it was impossible, I guarantee you, for him to get out of the project out of his head because he was committed. There's one last thing I would like to ask you on your personal side, and is, what's your biggest achievement? It could be you could give them the direction that you wanted, but it could be personal or professional or both.
I mean, I think, your biggest achievement is always, my sister just got married recently. And just being there with my family and to see how my family has grown, to be able to enjoy that with my parents. And my sister got married in the church that my mother and father got married in, that my mom's mom and dad got married in, and that my mom's mom and dad got married in. I think that that's just a true luxury. So I think hopefully making my parents proud is my biggest achievement. Um, Professionally, I think the Rise Fund was a really great achievement. But I also built a payday loan refinance fund that nobody talks about. But it'll refinance anybody in Miami-Dade County out of high interest debt as long as they have a job and they're 18 years old. In some communities, especially black and brown ones, um, payday loans, payday lenders, high interest credit cards. I mean, they are sucking money out of communities. They are killing families. There's some crazy statistic that around 30% of the single mothers that go to a payday lender, they go there because one of their children has a medical emergency and they're just trying to pay for that. And so to be able to refinance people out of that, to get them out of that cycle, I think that even though, Rise has won the awards and probably what people know me most for, I think that so far, that's the best product that I've been able to build to help out people. I started a land trust in Seattle that's doing really well. I'm very proud of that. Yeah, we have a homeless shelter for men. It has about 200 beds in it. And they're continuing to grow. They're embarking on doing small business lending for their communities. But I also think that my most impactful or thing that I'm most proud of hasn't happened yet. I think there's opportunities to do things that I've done here in Miami with credit unions across the United States. And so, I'm really focused on growing this consulting business and really kind of impacting the communities across the United States like I have before. But I think to show people that people have great ideas, it's just become more and more difficult for people to get the funding for those ideas. And money, to me is a bunch of different things, but it's also very much this tool for opportunity, right? You can have the great idea, but without the money, opportunity isn't really there, or they can't really be actualized. So again, with that first job and what kind of spurred my whole career, being able to give someone the funding for that opportunity, and then they were successful. Kids went to better schools, they lived a better life. And so I think that on a large scale, my greatest thing that I've done some good things that I'm really proud of. I hope to continue to bring amazing businesses to Miami and grow this ecosystem. But I think that there's still, a lot left to come.
And a lot left to work for, and especially in a community that needs people like you, people like me, people like Juan Diego, the producer, who are working proactively into just inspiring and telling people, look, if you have the willingness, because let's be clear, when you ask somebody else for money, that is not removing your responsibility for that money. That is just enhancing the possibilities that your project can be successful and you can execute the project. But I do believe there's an accountability that needs to be within the emotional intelligence of the person in charge of the organization that is receiving the funding, that it must be there, because when you're working with somebody else's money, I would add 10 times the responsibility as it was yours. So stating that, I do believe there's many more things to do, brother. I cannot thank you enough for coming in today
Yeah,
and
thank you for
sharing
having me, man. I appreciate it.
It's our honor, and you are a very good man, brother. I need to tell you this, and I wanted to be in the show because your purpose and the way you communicate, and you communicate in a very genuine way, and I can really sense that when things work out for people that you help, happen, that when things really work out for them, you are happy. You are genuinely happy that that's going to impact their lives on a positive manner, and that's obviously helping you achieve higher goals. So it's just a matter of growing together, and I think that's what community is
We all
about.
can win, you know?
We all can win, and Miami gives you a lot of that. Everybody wins here.
True.
So for you guys watching, thank you very much again for tuning in. I really hope you could use this in your day-to-day basis. I'm truly honored that you have watched the episode, and continue to please share the love. Thumbs up in YouTube, share, like, comment, and just keep in the lookout for the next one. Take care.